Well, hello everybody. This is Bug Eater 64, and yeah, it's true. I'm back from vacation. Yep, finished our little 5,000-mile RV trip from South Carolina to California and back. And if I said that it was uneventful, that would be a lie. Because one night we spent huddled in a restaurant produce cooler while two tornadoes circled around us. But luckily the RV wasn't hit except with anything but golf ball size hail. And we're just fine. So, interesting trip. What can I tell you? It's good to go back. So, let's see what we can do about getting a little flying done. I know it's been a while, so be gentle to this old man. Got a good sim flight friend of mine, Dion Souls, on the channel too. So he's doing a little test flying in the updated Eclipse 550. And so we'll just see how things are going here. But I'm also using the Streamlabs OBS for the first time, trying to use that, and we'll have to see how it goes. But anyway, so here we are. Let's take a look here. And first we'll get ourselves into X-Plane. And as you can see, today I'm going to be flying the SAAB 340. And this is at KWJF. And then we're going to be going to with the KFAT, which is Fresno International. But just finished using the Widowmaker, a major update for KWJF, and took updated it. My Dion Soul was kind enough. He lives about 9 miles from the airport, and he was kind enough to provide me with actual photographs. And so did some major updates using the Widowmaker. Also took a little creative license with it. As you can see, it is the home of two virtual airlines flight services. You've got mine right here, the white hanger. That's the Air America Duet. And we'll just take a quick look. And then if you look over here towards the top of the screen, that's Solus Wings. And Dion Soul is the owner proprietor of that particular air service. So, and we're just going to give you a little look-see on some of the things we've done here. This is a lake area, a picnic area that and these, like I said, a lot of this was taken from photographs. The airfield, like I said, is probably the most up-to-date and closest to reality of any version that has been done yet. Definitely. And the field, KWJF, is named after General William Fox, I believe, and Fox Field, elevation 2,348 feet. So that's accurate. So with that, let's go ahead and get in the cockpit. So this is the SAAB 340. And what we'll do here is let's get some power. Hook up the GPU. Yeah, I'll show you. Here she is. So we now got ground power. And let's go ahead. I think one of the things I like about this airplane is the way the checklist is set up. Now let me check that. Fuel RPM, prop RPM is fuel's turned off. Throttles are right now set to full reverse. Go ahead and set them at ground idle. But let's look at this checklist. Okay, I keep hitting that GPU. Don't want that. All right. Now you got a preparatory checklist. External lights off, so we're not going to do with that. We're going to actually start with the, and you can do a walk around. So actually you can look at them. De-ice boots, vortex generators, elevators of course, and it's a little windy so they are moving. But let's go to the pre-start, before engine start checklist, and go to the batteries, turn them on. There we go. Batteries on. External power, which is right here, we'll go ahead and turn that on. And bleed valves. And we reset those. Set to auto. Turn on our avionics. Our oxygen, that's this little handle here. So it's on. Check our circuit breakers. And they're all looking good. Not going to worry about the flight recorder. Parking brakes right here. It is on. This little knob here is for our ground steering. Right now it's set so it's locked. It wouldn't do us. It's very hard to steer the airplane right now. But we'll get back to that. Parking brake is on. Go to our cabin signs. No smoking, and seatbelt signs are on. Look at our engines, instrumentation. Everything looks good. All right. Our fuel quantity. Yeah, we got plenty for this flight. We got about almost 3 hours worth. And the flight is, just about an hour. Check our hydraulics. Pressure's good. Cabin pressure. Yeah, it's going to be fine because we're going to be under 10,000 feet anyway. Prop and conditioners to the off positions. We're at ground idle with throttles and the fuel is turned off. Trims are set. And check our takeoff bugs. First test this. Everything looks like it's working right. And we're going to set this about 150. Alright, and with that, let's go ahead, and with this airplane we actually start the left engine first. So turn the fuel on there, and we can see it coming up. And looks like we've got a good engine start on that left engine. And let's go ahead and turn on our beacon. And this is our door indicators. They're all good. All right. Let's go ahead and do the right engine. It looks like it's coming up good. And with that, let's go ahead and get our So we've got two good engines. And turn that on. Bus ties. Bus ties set to auto. That's good. External power, we can turn that off now. Let's turn the generator on. Okay, power looks good. Generators. Air conditioning. Okay, we'll go ahead and set that about medium. Keep all the people happy. Emergency lights. Okay. Get those armed. Fuel used is good. And I'll move those later. First of all, remove the external power. And let's go ahead and get this set. Open the flight plan. KFAT, all right. And what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and activate that. Distance 122 miles. Very good. We'll move down to max here in a minute. Let's look at ice protection. We'll turn our pitos. Now, everything looks good. Alright. Overhead panel's good. Texas yard looking good here. And we received clearance. Okay. So go ahead and put this on GPS. Alright. Our auto settings are up here. Altitude is going to be 8,000 feet. So let's go ahead and move the conditioners up to max. And you can actually come over here and what is it right there? That gives you your different views. Okay. And we're sitting at max. You can actually look at where your conditioners are. Okay, so here we are. We're all set. Things are looking pretty good. Okay. And that'll move. And here we go. Go ahead and release the brake. And what have we got here? Electric. Let's look up here. Yeah. Get that other generator on. We'll be taking off from runway 24. So stream appears to be working okay, but there is some lag. So let's give it a little throttle and move us forward. And what we'll do is we'll move this right over there. As we move out to the taxi, out to the runway. Yeah, we'll hope the sound's working good. Okay, so let's get some lights on. Nav lights, taxi lights, swing lights. Okay, so flaps to 15 for takeoff. And looking pretty good here. All right. All right, get out here on runway 24 and get in the air. Get on our way. And there we go. Let's give us the power. $80 knots. And there you go. 90 knots V1 and rotate. And looks like we got positive rate. Gear coming up. Flaps coming up. And say goodbye to KWJF, Lancaster, California. Whoops. Pay attention, William. supposed to be climbing. There we go. Alright. So, climb. Autopilot.
Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low, terrain. Too low.
Well, that wasn't the smoothest takeoff I've ever done, but it all works. And we'll get on track here and get up to altitude. SAAB 340 is not a bad little airplane. I really like it. You know, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but can carry 32 passengers. Very stable. Well, that was interesting. It looked like I lost my stream there for a minute. But looks like we're still going, so life is good.
Very good.
Dion, how's your 550 doing?
It's doing just fine. Landed with no problems. Landed at 192 feet per minute, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
So
Acceptable.
yeah, that's how it gets by. So I'm just sitting here, watching founded by why a fall landed.
Yeah, go ahead, spit it out.
Say that 50 minutes, million times. But anyway, as I was landing or waiting to land, I was sitting there watching the rabbit holes. YouTube rabbit holes. But other than that, all was good. I'm just gonna decide what I want to do next. Now that I successfully got on the ground here. Yuma, Arizona.
Yeah, we're moving along pretty good. 100 and let's see, about 190 knots, 8,000 feet. Life is good. Airplane is operating as predicted.
As it should. Yeah, the Eclipse 550 is a cool little airplane.
Yeah, I've always liked it. I like this SAAB 340 for a turboprop. It may be a little older, but it works well, and it's, friendly to the user.
That's good.
But there's not a lot of eye candy out here in the desert. So luckily it's a fairly short flight.
And there's 3 people watching your stream. You get more people than I do.
Oh my goodness. Well, welcome everybody.
Yeah. besides me and you, there's somebody else here too. I mean, I need to tap in the chat and say hi all. There you go. I typed in the chat. Hi all.
And welcome to my stream. Bug Eater 64 flying the SAAB and 340, and looks like we got a little cloud cover over here.
Yeah, Southern California's got clouds, that's for sure. And then, of course, they leave. you acknowledge that they're there.
And they show up. My goodness.
And then they leave. They just kind of like, okay, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I don't want to be known.
And then they pop back just thicker than they were to begin with.
Yeah.
And we've got about 83 miles left.
I think I'm going to log and do a video myself. So I'm going to log and go offline, do my recording, then I'll be back probably this afternoon or tomorrow, whenever my wife goes out. So anyway, I'm
Very good.
actually-
All right, Dion. Good.
Have a good one.
Laters. And that was Dion Soul, one of my flight sim buddies, who has a virtual airline, Solus Wings, and who I subcontract with my airline, which is Air America Due. And that's the livery you'll find on my aircraft. So it looks like we've run into some clouds here, and which is unfortunate. And not sure what the cloud deck is, so this landing could be interesting, to say the least. It's supposed to be VFR, but we are going to land in runway 29 left, which at Fresno International is the ILS. But we'll just have to see how it goes. But everything's looking good. Let's take a look at these gauges here. All right. Everything is looking quite nice, and as it should. So we will just continue on with the flight. And as I was talking about earlier, Mrs. Bug Eater and myself had a very interesting vacation, driving our RV, which is a 40-foot Alpha, 2005. It's not brand new because we don't make that kind of money, but we drove it from South Carolina to Southern California, around the Los Angeles area, and went through 11 states, covered about 5,000 miles round trip, and for the most part had a very good time. But we had glitches from the get-go. We lost the air conditioning, working at 100%. So going through Texas was fun when the temperatures were close to 100 degrees or more. Had some engine overheating issues at the first 3 days, and got that taken care of when we found out that being that the RV is a diesel, what they call a diesel pusher, it's hard to see one side of the radiator, and it turned out there was quite a bit of debris. We got that taken care of, and all our overheating problems went away. But the most exciting part was on the way back. We got into Oklahoma one night, got fuel, was going to get something to eat. Turned out that we picked the wrong night to do it. We ended up in the produce cooler of the restaurant while tornadoes basically surrounded us. And then we had golf ball size hail that literally took off one of the external outlet covers. Broke it right off of our RV, and we tow a small SUV behind the RV, and it now has nice impact points on it. So yeah, that's the kind of vacation I can do without. But it was great seeing friends and family, so. And I do like traveling in the RV. Alright, so we've got about 21 and a half minutes to go, 63 miles. We're flying at about 170 knots at 8,000 feet. Was just about the top of the cloud cover. So let's take a look outside here. Can we see anything? I don't see a lot of holes down there. And here comes my co-pilot, Mrs. Bug Eater, and she's brought me my Hotel Charlie, my hot coffee. Bless her heart. Oh, that's good stuff. That's the nectar of the gods right there. Well, I certainly hope that we break out of these clouds before we get to the airport. Otherwise, it makes it so much fun trying to find the field. And we'll start the descent probably at about 30 miles away. 30, 35 miles. That way we can do it a little bit at a time instead of just diving through a hole in the clouds and hoping for the best. And the lucky part is that there, on this flight path, there aren't any mountains for us to really have to worry about. We've left those behind us, so there's pretty much nothing left but farmland and open land ahead of us right now. I'd show it to you, but there's nothing but clouds. So hopefully this will not be one of the most exciting streams I've ever done. We won't scratch the paint or anything, which would be a good day. So as you can see, there's not a lot to talk about. This is X-Plane 11.25 Beta 1. So we keep going. I am deeply looking forward to later this year, if everything goes well, we may have the beta for Vulcan. And with Vulcan, I know the last thing I heard on testing was that the frame rates were exceptional. So, you know, I'm averaging right now with my system I'm averaging right at between 50 and 60 frames. So I don't have any real complaints at all. It works very well. But the more the merrier. We'll take all we can get. That way, as the frame rates go up, so does the quality of the sim, as I can increase all my settings. So our next altitude I'm going to set is going to be about 2,500 feet. And we'll start down that in about probably in about 5 miles. And this little icon you see right here, that is my flight command software. And I'm going to see if it works today. I'm not flying in VR today, but normally when I do, I use that quite a bit as for voice recognition commands. We'll see how that goes today. Okay, we're about, let's see, right at 40 miles away. So let's go ahead and start our descent. Autopilot off. Autopilot off.
Monitoring NAV1.
Autopilot off.
Autopilot off.
And it didn't turn the autopilot off, but it told me it did. Okay, press that button. Autopilot back on. And so we'll get down to our altitude. The one thing I have found is that with my controllers on this airplane, the throttles are really, really touchy. Excuse me. Okay, at 7,000 feet, heading to 2,500. Now, landing speed is going to be between 110 and 120. So hopefully everything will go well. I sure am glad there's nothing for us to run into in these clouds, because I can't see anything except white. And once we get to Alta, it should make a left turn to head us into runway 29 left. And once again, this is Bug Eater 64 flying the SAAB 340A from KWJF, Lancaster, California, to KFAT, KFAT, Fresno International. And we've got about 8 minutes before we make our turn. And we're at 3,900 feet, heading for 2,500 feet. Looks like we broke through the first layer of clouds. And yeah, just over to the right there, I can see some ground. But over on the left, well, I see another runway. It's not ours, but okay, we're within 1,000 feet of our programmed altitude. I can see some terra firma underneath us. At 3,000 feet we broke out. So that's good. Hopefully it'll be that way all the way to the airport. Okay, 19 miles. And 2,500 feet. Okay, so that's looking good. Okay, let's give it a little throttle. Like I said, it doesn't take much, and this thing just really reacts to throttle input. Airspeed's about 130. think we need the GPS anymore. Okay. Okay. Another one of the local airfields. And that should be ours, is going to be out here. Yep. Five miles to the make a turn. Alrighty, okay, so we're making a turn. That'll be starting our approach. There's the field out there. There's our runway. Getting more clouds. Go away. Okay, landing lights on. Everything looks good there. And there we are. There's our runways. Alrighty. Start slowing down a little bit. Landing gear coming down. First degrees of flaps. Okay, it made a course correction there. Okay. Looks we're just a little bit to the right of the runway, but we'll see how it goes. As we do our approach into the airfield. So flaps at 15%. And the airplane is mine. And we're down safely. Apply a little brake. Yeah, start getting the flaps up, clean up, clear the runway. And welcome to Fresno International. Yeah, we're going to park over here to the left. Yeah. Alrighty, so with that, let's go ahead and take a look at the landing. Alright. Not one of my best landings, but definitely not one of my worst. It was acceptable. I got no complaints at all on that one. Let's take a look at that from the tower's view. Yeah, there we go. A little left of center, but not bad at all, really. Okay. Well, I don't have any complaints with that at all. Let's go back to the real world. And shut the engines down. And with that, as I said, welcome to Fresno. And with that, we will call it a day. Want to thank you so much for coming. Hope you sure enjoyed the stream. I sure enjoyed bringing it to you. So, this is Bug Eater 64 from Fresno International saying until next time, safe flying.